let's go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone to our membership meeting of the coalition. We'll call this meeting to order 9:02, and let's go ahead and start with public comments. Are there any comments? If you have one, please raise your hand. Wes, go ahead, please.
Hi, good morning. Wes White, Salinas Monterey County Homeless Union, also the lead Lived Experience Advisory Directive. Checking in because there was a sweep, it was on private property along the river in San Lorenzo, King City, so San Lorenzo Creek, across from the Migrant Center. I think technically that's county line property, and I guess... Gosh, it was only a handful of people. I mean, if we're going to worry about our encampment resolution policy that the county has, that we have, how do we coordinate that with the jurisdictions to, make fruition a service and people being housed so that we don't have the same problem tomorrow as we had today and spend all the money stealing people's property? Because a lot of people, yesterday, it was scheduled for the 13th, and then they pushed it off until a Monday. Monday, it rained really hard everywhere, and, they got nothing and nowhere to go and nowhere to be, nowhere allowed, and that's all anybody's looking for is where can I be? Where am I allowed to go if you don't want me here? So just looking for some alignment.
All right. Thank you, Wes. Appreciate that. Any other comments? Going, gone. All right, we'll move on to chairperson comments. So I wanted to spend a minute and talk about what's currently my favorite commercial, and there's a reason for this. You'll see in a minute. You may have seen it. It's still playing on TV, and it happens to be a Dignity Health commercial, and it features a little toddler and his father. And the father is on crutches and having some difficulty getting around, obviously. They enter the kitchen with the toddler in the lead, and the toddler pulls out the kitchen chair to make way for the father to sit down. The father then moves over in front of the chair, at which point the toddler gently puts his hands on the legs of his father and coaxes him to sit down. Once he's in the chair, the toddler reaches over and takes both crutches from the father and moves them aside. And every time I see that commercial, it is just so touching. You can feel the love, you can feel the kindness. And the reason I'm bringing this up today is it occurs to me that you and all your staff members are that little toddler. And what you do, you're spreading love, you're spreading human kindness, and it's just so important. And, sometimes we're all the father, too. Sometimes we need a little help. So what I want to say to all of you this morning is thank you for your love and your care. If you need help, please don't hesitate to ask, and let's take care of each other. And thanks so much for everything you do. All right, so those are my comments. Are there any additions or modifications to the agenda today?
For me, I just want to update our CHSP section that we'll be removing the 2024 CoC Awards because we talked about that last month, and that we're changing HAP 5 release to the actual HAP 5 competition. So just taking some things out, editing the words, rushed through that one. My apologies.
Okay. So we'll do that at the end of the agenda. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. If I forget, remind me, please.
I wrote it on my slide, so we're good.
Okay. All right. With that, do we have any new new people here who've not been here before? And then we're going to introduce some new agency board members, or just be members. Anyone want to introduce themselves? Gustavo.
Greg, this is Jen Bishop, Montgomery. I am the planning manager. Been here 6 months now, so I guess it's official. but I may have been in one meeting prior to this, but I wanted to introduce myself because I'm aware that I believe the previous planning manager used to attend this meeting on a regular basis. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm now available since I am official. And I understand that he was actually a board member at one time, so I'm not sure if that's still the case or if it's still open, but I'm, interested and willing to participate in any way I can.
Thank you, Vincent. And you're planning manager for what organization again?
Oh, Salinas Community Development Department.
Great. All right.
And the previous planning manager was Rod Powell, I believe, that worked with this committee.
We all know and love Rod.
God.
Good to have you on board. Good to have you on board.
You bet.
All right. You're welcome. All right, good. Let's go now to you, Gustavo.
Hi, everyone. Gustavo Esparza. I am the new director for Downtown Streets team in Monterey and Santa Cruz counties. I was previously the program manager in Santa Cruz. So very happy to be here.
Good to have you. Thank you. Anyone else?
Good morning. My name is Delarice Redmond. I'm the ECM manager for CCAH, and I have my teammate Ida Robinson on the call as well.
Well, welcome to all of you. Anyone else? Dolores.
I was just saying hi. My camera wasn't on when I was speaking.
Okay, hi. Anyone else want to introduce yourselves?
I'm so new, I don't even know where you put your hand or the little thing to put your hand up. My name is Anthony Henderson. I'm with VRSI. We're a grantee from the Department of Labor to help homeless veterans with employment. We utilize that as a platform to helping with the supportive services that are offered in the VA to help our brothers empower themselves. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here, Anthony. Others?
Oh, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I am Mohammed. I am also with ERSI in Marina. We do an awesome job, I believe, finding homeless veterans jobs. This is what we do. We help employ homeless veterans, which gives them an opportunity to, as my brother said, to be self-supportive. So they love what we do here, and I love what I do here, and I like what you guys are doing here. So I appreciate you inviting us, to your meeting. Thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome, Mohammed. Thanks for being here.
Indeed.
Any others? Oh, this is great. A lot of new blood today. We're happy to have it. All right, I'm going to turn it over to you, Katrina, to introduce our three new agencies.
Yes, thank you, Greg. So we're excited to announce Step Up, Unity Care, and Victory Mission joining CHSP's membership. They usually are coming to these meetings, so let's see, going through. I see that Frank's on today, and no other representation I can see quickly. So if anybody is on the call from our new members, if you just want to introduce yourself, say something quick about your organization.
Yeah, I'll do that, Katrina, for Victory Mission. This is, good morning to all, and this is Frank Rain III for Victory Mission, Executive Director. We are a men's shelter, also provide permanent housing and supportive services. Thank you all.
Thank you, Frank. Great to have you all. I don't see any other representatives on today, but really excited to make this announcement.
Absolutely. We're excited to have three new members. If anyone else is interested in applying for membership, there's a process for that. So if you would like to explore that, talk to Katrina or anyone at the coalition, please. All right. Up next, we have member updates. We're going to do this the way we did last time, which means I'm not going to go around the room and name everyone's name and see if you have an update. I'm just going to open it up, and if you have something you'd like to update the coalition membership on, something relevant to the coalition members, then go ahead and raise your hand and we'll get right to you. Who wants to go first? Keishla.
Good morning, everyone. Keishla Lopez, Homeless Services Manager with the City of Salinas. I have two announcements. One of them is that the city, in collaboration with the coalition, is applying for the state ESG funding. The NOFA due date is March 28th. So we are in the final stages of preparing for the submission of the application. It is a three-year grant term. We don't know what will happen with our current administration, so we're hoping for the best and still applying. The second announcement that I wanted to share is that the City of Salinas received some funding through the National Opioid Settlement, and we are RFPing some of those funds for our local CoC. It is intended to address the opioid epidemic, but homeless services obviously intersects with that. And so it is also a future potential opportunity for the CoC. I'm hoping to release that RFP sometime early April. And those are my updates. Thank you.
Thank you, Keishla. That's all exciting news. Appreciate that. Okay, who wants to go next? Let's see, we have Anjanette.
Good morning. My name is Anjanette Lever. I'm a program facilitator at Gathering for Women. And we do have some exciting news. We have a Lotus Day event coming up on April 18th. Basically, that is a way for us to come together and bring together some of our community partners to present to our ladies and anyone else that would attend. If you're interested in tabling, please let me know. I will leave my information in the chat. And also, if you're interested in me coming to your program to present our program to your staff or to the people that you serve, I'm willing to do that as well. Because sometimes when we get referrals, when people come to us with referrals, they come with kind of incorrect information about our program. And so we would like to be able to make sure that the right information is given. So, let me know when you are interested in having me come out and present, and if you're interested in coming to present to us. That's basically it. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you for that, Anjanette. We appreciate it. Let's go to Henry Gomez, please.
Good morning, everybody. This is Henry Gomez with Hope Housing in Marina. And I just want to bring an update on the numbers that we're holding right now. As far as residents are concerned, we have a total of 92 residents, including family, 28 female, 33 male, and 31 children. We still have about 11 units, maybe equivalent of 22 beds available. And I want to take this time and this opportunity to invite everybody on the coalition, any agencies that would like to present their services here at Hope Housing. You can get a hold of Alexa Johnson. She's with HRC, and they hold a resource fair every last Thursday of the month. And it's for our community residents, so we would appreciate all the help we can get.
Great. Thank you, Henry. Anyone else have an update? Evangelina.
Hi, everyone. Evangelina Ochoa with Community Human Services. We have two upcoming events. On April 12th, we have our Banding Together. It's a mini musical festival fundraiser to support community human services programs for mental health, substance use disorders, and homelessness. This event will be from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Sand City Art Park. What I can do is send the flyer out to Katrina. Maybe she can send it out to everyone. We're going to have different music vendors, food vendors. Other Brother will be there also selling beer. And for every beer that is sold, there will be $1 donated to CHS. One thing is making sure that you do bring your own lawn chairs for that event. We also have on April 24th, our Casa de Noche Buena anniversary event, Solving Homelessness Conversation. And again, we'll send that information out to everyone, or to Katrina maybe, so she can send it to everyone. And then I believe, then just a little side note, from between all of our programs, we've, in the last month, we've had 11 individuals housed into permanent housing and 2 into transitional housing. And that's all I've got today.
Thank you, Evangelina. All right, let's go to Kurt.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Kurt Shockey, Executive Director at Veterans Transition Center. Our newest housing project, Lightfighter Village, is just over half full now. We have 39 veterans and a few families in there. It's all permanent supportive housing. And with that, VTC hit a high watermark. We now have 124 veterans under our care, and that number will increase by about 40 in the next month. In addition, we have our annual gala that'll be on the 4th of April at Pasadena, and VTC just signed an agreement with EAH Housing, a nonprofit developer out of San Rafael, for a 35-unit permanent supportive housing complex down in Greenfield. It'll be phase 2 of the Greenfield Commons, and it should be built in about 2 years. That's it. Thanks.
Wow, that's big news. Thanks, Kurt. Okay, Roxanne.
Good morning, everyone. After a year of really contentious appeals in Watsonville, we finally won the very last one. It's final. No more appeals, and we are able to finally move forward with submitting our building permit for the tiny village, which will serve the people who are living along the Pajaro River. So it's all gas from here. We are 2 years behind, which is absolutely awful and a disgrace, but we finally were able to get through all of it. So I look forward to inviting you all to the grand opening, hopefully by the end of this year.
That's wonderful news. Congratulations, Roxanne. I know how hard you worked on that.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else like to make a comment, an update?
Hi, everyone. It's Sophia Kier here with Interim. My update is regarding an event we're having in May, since we're not meeting in April. Please join Interim for our annual Mental Health Services and Recognition Award, which will also be one of the ways we're honoring our 50th anniversary. It is on Friday, May 30th at the Embassy Suites, and I will put the Eventbrite link into the chat right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophie. Other takers? No? All right, then. Thank you all. I'm going to go to the solution set update, and not to surprise any of the working group leaders, but I want to go around and just get a quick update, if I could, from each of the working groups, and I'm going to start with Katrina.
Thank you so much. So I'm excited to announce that I do the advanced notice and communication work group alongside Enrique and Lavisha and Caroline. I'm excited to tell you all that I have a draft ready to go out to our working group members alongside with the executive committee to get this out. My concern right now, though, Greg, is throwing a little wrench. You know, we were informed yesterday at HCB's office hours that our encampment response plan countywide needs to be in compliance with Cal ICH encampment guidance in order for us to apply for HAP 6. So we're in the process of getting ready to apply for HAP 6, but now it's like we have to start cross-referencing these things to ensure that they're feasible and are in alignment with Cal ICH's guidance. So we were just informed that yesterday around noon. So here we are. I'll send that out to you all. I got a lot of feedback from my working group, but have not been able to meet with them for the past 2 weeks. So I've kind of taken this, the finalizing it on my own. So they have to review it before it gets out to the public or to you all.
Okay. So a couple things. We do have a review in our plan, and we'll look at that schedule in a minute here. And I mean, I think that's okay. It might slow us down a little bit, right? And we should have a plan for how to cross-reference with not only those standards, but the standards that Roxanne is developing for the county, and then also for San Benito County too. And
right.
So I think we should do them all at the same time, hit them all, and if it slows us down a bit, then so be it. So
I already know that there's going to be, the way that I'm seeing them come in right now, there's going to have to be some kind of formatting to make it all unified throughout. So we can do that all at the same time as well.
Yeah, and I'll have a few comments on kind of where to go once we see where everyone is this morning. So we'll come back to that. Anything else on the advanced notice and communication?
Just, I think I have to get some more feedback from our local or our government entities like the County of Monterey, City of Salinas on the who am I contacting, who's our point of contact there. I put some feelers out, but I guess I just need to make that phone call.
Okay. Yeah, at this point, we're not expecting everything has been implemented. We're really trying to shoot for complete designs and implementation plans so that we all can coordinate together and implement. So anyway, I think that's just fine, Katrina.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's go to outreach. Who is here today to present on that?
Good morning, it's me again.
Hi, you again.
Hi. So let's see. So the encampment sweep response solution set met 5 times to discuss the different sections of the outreach goals. And I am happy to announce that we have a draft to present. That was sent over to Katrina by Mark, who helped me co-facilitate this work group, and our active participants and members that developed this work set was ASN, SORT, McComb, CHSP, YAB, San Benito, LEAD, and DST. We're very proud of the work that was done and all of the feedback and collaboration that was involved in that process. And so we look forward to sending it over to you guys on how you sync it all up together, because we also acknowledge that as we were going through this, we were touching on how important communication is. And in order for us to be able to do our jobs effectively. And so I think that when this is all said and done, it's all going to look really great. So that is the update that I have for you all.
Very exciting. Thank you, Keisha. We look forward to seeing that. Okay, let's go to the shelter availability system. I think Donna's here.
Hi, good morning. Yes, so we've been meeting, and I want to thank everybody who has responded to that Excel spreadsheet or Google spreadsheet asking certain questions. So we listed all of the shelters or housing options, I call them, in Monterey County. It's basically, if you're part of this group, you're on this list. And then who has any kind of emergency shelter availability. And a lot of people responded. We're still waiting for some of our organizations to respond, to fill in their information on this chart. 3 of our agencies, iHelp, Victory Mission, and Home Resource, responded that they would be able to help in the event of an emergency or a sweep with cots or emergency beds. Our other agencies are unable to help with anything like this. So when we were last speaking, we're kind of at a standstill right now, because that's really not enough to make an impact when we have events, sweeps, and such. So we are in the process of coming up with recommendations as to what are some other options instead of relying on our current shelters. What are some other options that we have for housing people in the event of an emergency? So that's where we are right now.
Wonderful. Thank you, Donna. And I've attended a couple of the meetings there, and I think this group is off and running very quickly. So appreciate all the hard work from everyone. Okay, let's go to Regina with the emergency shelter response group.
For the emergency shelter, we've been meeting. We are moving forward. We have determined that we really need more shelters as part of this project, and we are narrowing down the deliverables and assets that we will be working with. I did reach out to Donna this morning to get a meeting with her to see how we could make what they're doing flow easier, not on us, but to be able to service them and make it easier for the clients. So we should have an outline soon. We still are doing the resources, but we have worked on the case management and the different shelter types that we will need to be able to service the community here in Monterey and San Benito counties.
Very good. Thank you. I see Katrina, your hand is up.
Yeah, so I failed to provide this part of the update because it just slipped my mind. But the coalition has worked with our IT department to launch a shared SharePoint site for each one of these modules so that we can communicate with each other, start tracking that information, collecting that data. I started the drafts on some MOUs between outreach organizations, and then, I did the draft or the MOU for that, so it just needs to be refined by someone else. They need to look at it. And then started the MOUs for emergency shelter providers. One of the things we're running into is, if these organizations are not funded to be a part of this activity, what is their incentive for doing this? And, initially launching this was, as the HHAP membership, we are going to collaborate to meet the needs of the unhoused and to answer the call of the governor's executive order. So I don't know how we frame that. I'm not sure if we need to meet with all of the executive directors of these organizations to review these MOUs and see how we can get buy-in from them. But I do know that once finalized, these will go into all of our CHSP contracts, and then once aligned with the counties, hopefully that is also implemented into their contracting for our organizations as well. So it will be a requirement of their contracts once finalized.
Okay.
But until then, it's a hope and a wish.
Well,
and a prayer.
It
Katrina. So is the IT? Are they going to be working on like the system where there's going to be like a live update on the shelter bed spaces available? Because I know we have it on the website, but it's not ever really updated.
It's not. Unfortunately, all of the staff that was handling that prior to my leadership are no longer here. So yes, the answer is yes, Tim. Thank you, Nicole, for initiating that conversation and start to get that ball rolling so that we can utilize that aspect of our website. So it will be a tool not only for this project, but for the community as well to see where they can go. But that's also, again, there's that buy-in that the organizations have to provide those updates. And trying to figure out that timing. It will never be live, live right now by the second. There's human error. There's shifts end, people start, and yeah, we just have to figure that part out.
Okay, Roxanne.
So we're in a weird space right now with the feds and even with the state. So Katrina will share with you guys a lot of the accountability measures that's coming down the pipeline. Well, everything that we learned yesterday with HHAP, and as you guys are aware, I spent a lot of time with the state, and they're really coming. They're coming for us. So I would like to invite the executive directors to a meeting so I can have a real conversation with you. I think it's important for us to go through all of the things that I think is coming down the pipeline, and for us to start really collaborating on a really deep level, so that when they get to Monterey County, I mean, the good part is that we're a generally decently performing community. But when they do get to us, we're tight, and we're highly functioning, and then they just skim right past us. Like, that's the goal. But I think that there's, no matter what, even in the most highest performing community, there's always room for improvement. And after yesterday's meeting with the HHAP and ERF stuff, it's just like what they're asking is it's real. And even from the counties, an example is they're saying that we'll get the first disbursement upfront for HHAP, but if your county doesn't have an approved, what is that called? Housing element, you're not going to get your second HHAP disbursement. Well, the County of Monterey doesn't have an approved housing element. So what does that mean for the COC? What does that mean for a two-county COC? Does that mean that the County of San Benito is going to be punished because the County of Monterey? So, like, we have a lot of questions, and we need to all just, like I said, get really tight around here. So again, I would love to invite you guys to have these conversations, and for us to start really coordinating. I don't think that we have time for any more excuses, and we need to start all of the things that we said, the reasons why we can't do things. I don't think we have time for that anymore. We have to find ways to get to yes.
Well, Katrina, I for one would love to be there, so I say let's have the meeting. Sounds important. Okay.
Absolutely. We'll start coordinating that with Roxanne and get something out to you all.
Okay, thank you. Last but not least, permanent housing response. Anthony?
Hi, everyone. Our team has been meeting, I think, of the last 6 weeks. I think we had 4 or 5 meetings. We have recommendations for 4 of our 5 goals. One was a little bit difficult. Our primary recommendations are around ways to speed up the referral process, either through utilizing something like the Smart Referral Network or taking some best practices from that approach. Some of our individual contributors worked on tools that are not necessarily standardized, ready for broad implementation, but are hopefully getting us in the right direction. For instance, a tracking tool for emergency bed supplies, which I know another team was working on, a tracking tool for housing inventory management. We also had one of our permanent supportive housing case managers working with us, talking directly about what she sees on the front line, what makes that job challenging. And so we've developed an assessment tool for clients to accurately disclose their independence, so that we're making successful placements. And then a couple of our team members were able to collect some best practices for case management, care coordination, and also our housing retention. So we're in the process of summarizing all of that great work, and we'll have that over to you, Katrina, hopefully by Thursday, probably Friday at the latest.
All right, great, Anthony. On the tool that you guys are working on for the emergencies, shelters, availability, whatever you call that, you might want to have a conversation with Donna on that, because that's the focus of her group.
Definitely. Actually, sorry, I think I misspoke here. I have here that we do need to collaborate because we think that it would be a good tool to kind of marry with our housing inventory tracking. So definitely.
Okay,
thank you.
Cool. Very good. Well, I've been fortunate enough to attend a couple of meetings for a few of the different modules, and very impressed with the professionalism and the hard work and enthusiasm happening in the groups. What I want to suggest is kind of how to move down the path, and I want to hopefully provide some clarity on the deliverables that we're looking for out of the working groups. And this comes back to the directions that we gave the working groups in the very beginning, but it's been a while, so I wanted to revisit that. There are two main deliverables here. One's a design document, the other is an implementation plan. Okay, so if you think about the design document first, which is this second milestone, these should, the evolution of the group think, if you will, should result in a set of deliverables from not the actual deliverables, but a list of what the deliverables will be from this working group. Those deliverables can be a template, some other kind of instructional document, could be an MOU document, could be a system, could be anything. And so the trick is, if we're going to get to implementation, we have to have a clear set of assets, if you will, that we're going to implement. Okay, so think ahead to implementation, and then the groups, and some of you have already started down this path and you're far along, but the groups should all try to get to that design document that doesn't have all the comments and ideas and things like that. There should be no comments and ideas. There really should only be a list of deliverables, a description of each deliverable, and the fodder, if you will, the descriptive information that you've come up with about that deliverable beyond the basic description. You can put that in another document and keep that, because there's valuable information, valuable ideas there, and you can use that during implementation. Once you have your list of deliverables, the implementation plan becomes simpler and easier, because then what you're doing is you're saying, okay, here's our deliverables, here's the date we're going to complete each one, here's who's going to be in the lead on creating each deliverable. You know, if there's a working group review process for the deliverables, what is that? When's it going to be? Okay, then once the implementation plan is done, which is what is this, policy and procedure? Well, this slide is assuming that deliverables are only policies and procedures, and they're not, but a lot of them are. Okay, so they could be other things. But then we get into implementation and then check in on our progress. We're behind schedule now, but that's okay. And we as an executive committee need to talk and think about scheduling a review session to at least
recording stopped.
The working group's interim feedback. Okay, so any questions or issues on what I just said? Okay. All right. Well, this is our schedule. We're at March, and we're supposed to be completed with design. I think what we probably need to do is review each of the design documents once the working groups get them into the state I'm describing.
Recording in progress.
And go from there. Okay, so we'll be in touch. Katrina, you have anything you want to add to that?
I think that's it. I think I might be in the implementation plan right now, hearing more of how you want the design out. I might have something that I can send to you through the implementation. So I'm kind of excited about that now. I thought I was behind.
Good. Okay. Well, that is it for the solution set. Thank you again, everyone who's working on these things. We really appreciate it. Katrina's going to do an update, but before we start that, I want to say an apology to Enrique, because we had planned on him doing a presentation this time, and Katrina, we kind of dropped the ball on that. So apologies, Enrique. We're going to put you on the schedule for sure next time, no matter what. And we should check in and send an email, make sure that is on the agenda when the time is right. So thank you for your patience. We look forward to seeing that next time.
No worries, Craig. I only slept 2 hours the last week, so no worries at all. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, next time is fine.
All right. Thank you, Enrique.
Yeah.
All right,
Apologies.
Go ahead, Keishla. I'm sorry, Katrina.
No problem. So we're still awaiting for a few folks to get us over their point in time information. So this stuff was due February, like first, second week of February. So if our organization, CHSP, is reaching out to your organization, please get back to them. This pushes back our timelines to submit to HUD. So if there's any huge issues with your data, reach out to us so we can help troubleshoot it. Oliver is your guy, so please look out for that information, and you would know if you didn't submit. So we are in the midst of our HAP 5 competition. Nicole, do you want to provide an update of kind of where we're at right now?
Yes, so we had our bidders conference. The applications are currently open. And just a reminder to those that are applying, if you are submitting for 2 separate project types, so like permanent housing and then emergency shelter, we are requesting that you submit separate applications because there is that new scoring criteria that is objective, and that is based on data for like emergency shelter operations and metrics specifically. So we are requesting that. We did get some feedback already about, you know, sometimes the administrative burden that comes with submitting multiple applications. So we'll be taking all of that feedback, and if you have any additional feedback, please let us know so that we can continue to improve our RFP processes. And then we did have an error, and that was on CHSP for not mathing correctly. But in the RFP, we will be making some edits, and that is just to the allocations for each county. So San Benito County, because King City is a Monterey County jurisdiction, that amount of $250,000 should also come from Monterey County's pot of funding. So the updated numbers are $540,741.87 to San Benito County, and then the Monterey County allocation is minus the King City that is already allocated is $1,912,967.47. So that is our apologies. We will be updating the RFP, and that should be going up on the website today. But otherwise, we are ready. We have our rankers, so thank you to any rankers that have volunteered. We've got a few people with lived experience on the board, on the ranking panel this time, so we are very excited about that. And just be on the lookout for communication from the coalition if you are applying. We will be trying to set a timeline for folks to be available in the event the rankers do have questions during that rank and review period, or during the deliberation day. So we'll set out a schedule for folks so that you're not just waiting around all day.
Sorry, Enrique has his hand up.
Yeah, well, thank you, Nicole, for making all that clear, and thank you for correcting the allocations to make them fair based on the percentages that were established before, so I really appreciate that. Regarding the submittal of 2 applications for the different activities, we've in the past have submitted ours to support outreach and rapid rehousing. So I just learned from the bidders conference that we are to submit 2 separate applications, which I was not aware of that. I may have missed it. It may have been in the RFP. It may have been communicated out. So if that happened, that's how it happened. But I just was caught a little surprised, and it will be like an added thing, you know, as it is. We're in a tight timeline. I'm not sure if other organizations feel the same, but, you know, for me, I do. I feel that trying to sustain what we do and following the same type of process before would have been better. But if that's how things are laid, we will still make it happen. But we do feel, and I would say it is an administrative burden to have to submit now 2 separate applications. But anyways, I wanted to make those comments. So thank you.
All right. And then we are sprinting towards the finish line of our 2025 Lead Me Home Summit. It is scheduled for April 17th, so we will not be meeting in April as the meeting. Our regularly scheduled CHSP meeting falls the day before, and we will need all the prep time. I want to give a huge shout out to Donna and Roxanne and their team, as well as CHSP staff, who have been really working hard on this summit. We are at capacity. So if you did not register, I'm so sorry that you missed that. You can try to send out your information to our admin, William Gomez, and he can put you on a waiting list. We are making sure we contact everybody to see if they're still going to be able to make it. But what is really happening is they're switching out their registrations with another staff member at this time. So we have about 30 presenters speakers coming over, I think what, 12 sessions this year. So we're really excited. We partnered up with the County of Monterey again, and with the Monterey Office of Education, our great Dr. Donna Smith and her team. So no meeting next month. Enrique, we'll put you on the agenda for May. I promise. And that's it for now, unless anybody, and Greg, do you have anything else?
No, anybody else have anything else? All right, I think it was a good meeting. I appreciate everyone being here.